The overwhelming majority of Americans support background checks for purchasing a gun. Washington Post and ABC News polling from 2019 found that 89% of Americans support expanding background checks for private and gun show sales. That stat held in 2021 polling from Quinnipiac, again finding 89% support from Americans.
When it comes to guns, there's very few things that the nation broadly agrees on, but background checks is one of these things. It overwhelmingly has the support of Americans writ large, of Democrats, of independents, and even of a majority of Republicans.
And in the tragic aftermath of another mass shooting,
And now we have 19 children who are dead and 2 adults.
calls for increased gun safety measures, like background checks, are reemerging. And yet, legislation that answers those calls has hung in the balance of Congress for years. H.R. 8, also known as the Bipartisan Background Checks Act of 2021, was formulated nearly a decade ago after the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting left 26 dead. It passed the House last year.
The bill is passed.
But has since been stalled in the Senate due to a lack of Republican support.
On the whole, when you look at why background checks seem unlikely to advance, it's because Republicans in Congress, despite the widespread popularity of background checks and polling, are not willing to vote for such a measure.
Democrats are not hopeful about the prospect of getting bipartisan support anytime soon.
The MAGA Republicans don't want to get to results. They are ossified in their opposition to any action on gun safety.
Even if they're willing to beg for it.
But I'm here on this floor to beg, to literally get down on my hands and knees and beg my colleagues. Find a path forward here.
In the wake of a mass shooting, and particularly a devastating one like the one in Texas, particularly where you had kids slaughtered, there's always discussions of what Congress can do. Tentatively, they're looking at a range of things, from background checks again to red flag laws, and also debating something like raising the age at which you can purchase an assault weapon. And so there's a number of things being bandied about. Some of them go less far than many Democrats and gun control advocates would like, but they're also potentially willing to accept even just a very basic bill because so little has been done for so long that it would at least be something.